We are going to be creating this Mandala template. It looks very complicated, but it's really not. It just has a few more steps than you might be thinking of. Let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we want to do is copy a brush here into the Mandala templates. We're going to go down to calligraphy. I'm going to duplicate the monoline. And then I'm going to move the duplicate into Mandala templates. And what I want to do is we're going to call this monoline A. And on the properties, I'm going to put the minimum size to 1%. And then click on Done. Now I'm going to duplicate this and into the About the Brush, I'm going to call this dot line. And under stroke path, I'm going to increase the spacing to 85%. And that will give us a nice little dotted line. And I'm going to click Done on that. And these are the brushes that we're going to use to create that seemingly impossible template for mandalas. Let's go to monoline A. And we're going to reduce the brush size down to 1%. I'm going to go, well, I want you to see, if I tap on layer 1, you'll notice that there is no assisted drawing. If I go into my wrench up here, and I go into Canvas, turn the drawing guide on, and then turn it right back off again, because it's going to interfere with what we're going to try to do. Now when I click on layer 1, as you can see right here, it says Drawing Assist. I'm going to turn that on. And then what I want to do is just put a line straight down the middle of the canvas here. I'm then going to touch on this arrow right here. And then we're going to go down here to snapping and turn off magnetics. Tap outside to close that, and then tap on Fit to Screen. And that centers this line that we just created. Now we're going to go back into snapping, and we're going to turn magnetics back on, and then we're going to go up here and we're going to touch on this arrow again. We go to layer 1 and we duplicate it, and we tap on the arrow up here again, and every time we drag from this this green dot, it's going to rotate by 15 degrees. So we're going to do that 3 times, and it's at minus 45 degrees. Touch the arrow, and then we're going to duplicate this layer. And then we're going to touch the arrow, 3 more snaps, and we are now at 90 degrees. And now we can merge these 3 layers together. You can either tap on a layer and select Merge Down, or you can pinch the 3 layers together. Then duplicate this, tap on your arrow, and flip horizontal right down here. Tap on the arrow again, and we now have the first part of the background. We're going to merge this down. We're going to create a new layer, turn this one off, and we're going to repeat those steps using dot line A. All the way down to 1%. And I forgot to put on the drawing assist. I do that a lot. So we turn drawing assist on, create a line going down, snapping, turn off magnetics, fit to screen, that centers it, snapping, turn magnetics off, turn off the arrow, and then duplicate the layer. Rotate to 45, and duplicate the layer. Rotate to 90, and then merge these layers together. Duplicate the arrow, flip horizontal, and then merge this down. Now we're going to change things up a little bit. We're going to tap on the arrow again. We're going to tap, not hold, on this green dot. And that brings up the rotation menu. You have to type kind of quickly, because if you type a number in here and you wait, it's going to automatically just flip it where it said you wanted it. So we want to choose 22.5. So real fast I'm going to go 22.5. And that wasn't it. Let's try it again. 22.5. There we go. Now here's another caveat for you. To close this menu, if you tap outside of your bounding box, the menu will close, but you will have moved your project by 1 pixel. So what I like to do is go to 2.5, and instead of tapping anywhere outside the bounding box, I tap the magic selector right here, this little S-shaped ribbon. And then I tap it again, and my figure has not moved. I now turn on layer 1, and I merge layer 2 down, and just like that we have created the background for what we are about to do. For our next trick, I'm going to turn this off, I'm going to start up a new layer, and now in my brushes I'm going to go all the way down to where it says textures, which you can see on mine right here. We're going to choose the grid, and we want this to be at 62%. Right there. You want drawing assist on, and then right here in the middle, just draw up and down. Make sure you don't overlap. Just go up and down a few times in order to make it nice and dark. And now we want to center this, but we want to center it by using this center line right here. So what I want to do is click up here on the wrench, turn on the drawing guide, and go to Edit Drawing Guide. I want to go over here to Symmetry, and then under Options I want to select Quadrant. And then so I am able to see the lines up against the black of the figure that I just made, we're going to change it to a different color. Whichever color you like, doesn't matter. Change the opacity to max, right down here at the bottom, and then click on Done. And we're going to zoom in on the middle here. We're going to hit this selection arrow again, and we are going to take the nearest crossbars to this center cross and put it on there. You see how it's jumping around though? We're going to take the snapping off, and that allows us to move it much more easily. And once it's centered, tap on that arrow again. And you will notice that now it's not all the way here. And it may or may not be all the way up here. It is, okay. So that's good. And for the next part of what I want to do, I need to make sure that this fills up from top to bottom without any problem. So I'm going to go back to Edit Drawing Guide. I'm going to change that symmetry to vertical. Give it a done and a done. And that way when I go back here into my templates, I can just draw a little line here. And I must be on the wrong one. I am. There's monoline A. There we go. And now it's extended all the way from the top to the bottom. Because what we're going to do first is we're going to use our eraser, which I have set for the hard brush, and just make it a size you can work with. And we're going to erase just up to the edge of this line right here. And what this is doing is it's ensuring that we have perfect symmetry on the width going left to right. And of course, it is already in perfect symmetry going up and down. It goes all the way to the edges. Then I'm going to use my selection tool, that's the S, and I'm going to make sure that it's on freehand. And I'm going to take the third and fourth crosses over here, and then I'm going to do a copy and paste. So now whenever I select this and make sure that snapping and magnetics are on, I can move this over like that, duplicate it, and move it over here. Let it snap there. And basically we have a grid that's got a little cross at the top, and this is going to be important towards the end of creating this template. Let's merge that down and merge that down. And then I'm going to duplicate layer 2. I'm going to tap the green circle and rotate it 22.5. So 22.5. And then once that's rotated, I click on the little S. And I want this to be a different color. So let's make it a blue color. That's just fine. We do a select and a fill. And now it's colored blue. I'm going to duplicate layer 2 again. This time I'm going to make it a green color. We'll select and fill. And now we're going to take this green color and we are going to rotate it 22.5 degrees minus. So we select it, we tap on the green dot, and you have to make sure to hit this minus key right here, right after doing the 22.5 in order to get negative 22.5. So go 22.5 minus, and I didn't quite get it. 22.5 minus. There we go. And now we click on this little ribbon again. And then I like to put the black layer on top, and we can pinch these together, and we can lower the opacity. We're going to take layer 1 and we're going to lower its opacity. Notice when we lowered the opacity, this check mark automatically appeared. That's because it said, oh, you're lowering the opacity, you must want to see something. And this is all the setup that we need in order to get a decent mandala going. I'm coming up here and I'm looking and I see that this right here is pointing, let's go back to black, at this dot. So that dot is going to be important, and this is pointing to that dot, which is going to be important. Much later on, just so you know, that's why we have these extra little bars up there. So let's zoom in towards the bottom, and what we're going to do is we're going to draw from this cross to this cross. We will turn on the drawing assist. We will go to our drawing guide, symmetry, and then on the options, we want to choose radial, and then we want to choose rotational symmetry. So now when we click on done, you will see that the solid lines show exactly where your rotational symmetries are, and the dotted lines are exactly in between those points. So now we're going to draw from this dot to this dot, and it creates this octagon right here. And then we're going to go up one full level. So from here, we count up 1, and we're going to start at this crossbar. And we're going to go to the corner of our octagon. I'm going to hit Edit Shape, just so I can check to make sure that this is exactly in the center. And this one right here needs to be where you can see those two meeting. And then tap outside of it. And then we're going to draw the other side right here. Edit Shape, put that dot in the center, put this dot where the lines are supposed to be meeting, tap outside once, and we have created our first star shape. We are going to temporarily turn this off so we can see things better. And now we're going to duplicate layer 3. I'm going to lower the opacity. I'm going to hit this arrow to select again. going to hit the green dot, and we're going to rotate 22.5. Then we click on this S ribbon, click on it again to turn it off, and you can see a shadow here of where we're going to draw our dotted lines. So we're going to go to dot line A. We're going to go one more layer up, layer 5, turn on the drawing assist, and we are going to follow along here. It goes from this dot to this point here, and from this dot to this point here. And then the bottoms are matched up. This is the only time we're going to have a dot going across to close a triangle. We can now delete the top layer 3 and merge layer 5 down into layer 3, and we now have the very first part of our mandala template. We're going to go up from there. So let's go ahead and turn on layer 2. We're going to start a new layer. This is layer 4, and we're going to turn on drawing assist. And what we want to do is connect the tops of our triangles. So we go from the dot to the top of this triangle, and I need to turn the monoline on first because this needs to be a monoline from there to there, and then from there to there. And that gives us the base that we're going to do our next triangle against. We are now going to go up 2 levels. So you count up 1, 2, and you draw your line right there to that corner. Hit the edit shape. Make sure it's properly centered. Come down here. Make sure that it's properly centered. And then tap outside. And then we're going to do the other side. Once again, edit shape. Make sure that it's properly centered. And down at the bottom, same thing, properly centered. And then tap outside. And now we can turn off the layer 2 again because it's so busy. We're going to duplicate layer 4, and we're going to reduce the opacity, and then we're going to rotate this one 22.5 degrees. Now the reason that I've chosen 22.5 is 22.5 is half of 45. We're now going to go up to layer 6, turn on drawing assist, and go back to the dot line brush. And we're going to draw our lines here. One there, and one there. And then we can delete the top layer 4, merge layer 6 down, and then merge layer 4 down into layer 3, and then we're going to click on the plus sign, and we're at the next layer 4, turn on drawing assist, and we're going to match the tops of these triangles again. Remember to go to monoline A, moved there at the last second and I caught it. There we go. And now we turn on our ladder again. And this time, if you take a look, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these left. So we're not going to be able to go 1, 2, 4, 8. We're going to just go 1, 2, 4, and 4. We're on layer 4. We're going to go up 4 crosses, 1, 2, 3, 4, and create our next triangle. Let it snap to shape and put it in there. And of course, I always have to check my work because I'm usually off by 1 or 2 pixels. Who would have thunk it? I'm not perfect. There we go. And then we tap outside and we do the next side. Edit the shape. Center it. Come down. Needs to be moved just ever so slightly. There we go. Basically, I'm trying to continue this line here of those dots. And now we can turn off our grid. We will duplicate layer 4, change the opacity, and rotate it by 22.5. There we go. And I want to click on that ribbon, so I'm going to zoom out. And that moves the rotation box out of my way. Click on the ribbon, click on it again. Now we want to go up to layer 6, drawing assist, and we want the dot line brush. And once again, we're going to draw the sides of our triangles. That one didn't quite make it. There we go. Slightly down from there. Okay. And there we are. We can delete the top layer 4, merge 6 down into 4, merge 4 down into 3, and then we do this just one more time. Click on the plus sign, turn on drawing assist, and the first thing we want to do, go to monoline A and connect the tops of our triangles. And now we're going to get our final and fatter point. 1, 2, 3, 4 up. Match that. Edit shape. And it messed up on me, so I'm going to redo it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Snap. Edit shape. Make sure that's centered. Make sure this is centered. Tap outside. And do the other side. There we go. Edit shape, just to make sure. And tap outside. And we duplicate layer 4. Change the opacity. And then once again, 22.5. Hit the ribbon. Go up to layer 6. Drawing assist. Dot line brush. And we draw this triangle. That one didn't look like it. Yep, it didn't go in quite the right place. There we go. And it's okay there. Tap outside. Edit the shape. Tap outside. And then I'm going to delete the top layer 4, merge down, click on the plus sign, new layer 4, drawing assist. I'm going to turn off layer 2, and once again I'm going to connect the tops of my triangles. Whoops. Needs to be monoline. There we go. That one didn't quite match it. There we are. I think that one's okay. And it's not. There we are. And we connect that one. And once again, just as with our last one, we don't want to have a situation when we're using it where we're drawing and it ends up going off the page here. So I'm going to connect this one and this one. And connect this one and this one. There we go. And we have now closed the shape. And then what we want to do is create another set here, another set here, and another set here. And that's where our grid comes in again. We zoom in, and we can see that from these dots, from there to there, connects up together very nicely. So we're going to draw a line there. And it doesn't quite go because we need to do from the blue to the green. There we go. And that lines up nicely. And then we want to do the same thing over here. Only we got to figure out where this is going to, and it's going to this one. And there we go. And that's why we did this extra grid stuff here at the top, so we would be able to see where these are pointing to. It's pointing to this one, and it's pointing to this one. So it's just a matter of connecting those dots together. And there we go. So now we turn off our grids for the final time. Let's check our work. Let's put layer 1 up here at the top. Put the opacity all the way up. Make sure the opacity is all the way up on all of these. And there you go. This is the grid that you saw at the introduction. And now that we have this done, I'm going to merge these layers together. I'm going to tap on it and say invert and copy. Then I can invert it back. Turn that layer off. Create a layer 3. I'm going to take my circle square, duplicate it, go here to shape, edit, import, paste. Click done. And about this brush, we're going to call this the star template because it looks like stars. Create a reset point, save, click done. I'm going to create a layer 4 and turn on drawing assist. And let's use the template that we just created. We've got star there. I'm going to tap once in the middle, hit that arrow, make sure that magnetics is turned off just in case, and do a fit to screen. And there we go. And now enjoy the music while I speed paint through making this into a mandala. Once again, just like with the last one, the shapes that I have in the template will affect how I end up making my mandala. And there we go. Using that particular drawing guide, I came up with this very nice, looks kind of Midwestern style mandala. I like it. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial and the demonstration. and do have a wonderful day.